Controller is the controlled. What do we understand by that? What do we understand by this statement that I just said? If the controller is the controlled, what do we understand by this? We also know that the word is not the thing. Whatever we are investigating towards right now in yourself, like you are doing in yourself, the word is not the thing. So when I say the controller or the sensor, the one which senses the sensation, like we are made of sensations, right? The sensor, the one who senses. Controller, the one who controls. So the controller is the control, the observer is the observed. Can we take these statements and try to not look at it theoretically, meaning just by words and imagining things of what a controller is, but see that in yourself right now? Can you sense it? What do we understand by it right now? How far can we go into this question? Meaning, once you get the controller, you feel it, like, okay, controller, I see it. How much more can you stay with it? Because the more you stay with it, the more you will know about yourself. As simple as that. And that's what most of the thing on this channel is about. Self-inquiry. Knowing about yourself it's just something which is not I see people talk about, they go into other stuff completely, but how do we separate fact from non-fact? What is non-fact? I see someone in the clouds, or I sense something magical in me, or like this book tell me to do this, and that book tell me to do this, and this guru is telling me to do that, and I'm closing my eyes and I'm getting into these states of blissfulness. These are all words, but how do you look at yourself as a fact? And why is it important to look at yourself like as a fact? You tell me, why is it important? I mean, for me it's a silly question, but we have been conditioned so much to not at all look at the fact that, I'm calling it a fact, but it's really that's you, right? You sense, right? We look at things and we sense it. The sensory doesn't have to be very intensified. When I'm looking at stuff, like if you observe, you are sensing things. I am sensing things right now. So there is a sensing. So there must be a sensor. If there is a sensor, the one who is sensing, or the controller, the one who is controlling, can you look at that fact? Can you look at that thing which is in you? And that is an undeniable fact, whatever word you choose for it. The observer, the one who is observing, you're observing, right? You're conscious, right? You're observed. The observer, who is the observer? What is the observer? Who is the observer, and what is the observer? If you ask these questions, what happens? Can you do that for yourself right now? And only you can do it. No one can do it, right? But why do we get trapped in books and someone says, and please help me, or whatever? Because we don't feel good in ourselves. That's why. We don't feel good about yourself because you have thousands of concepts, unlimited sensations, which we are creating, and everyone is doing that. And then we want answers from someone else. And that if the person has the answers, he's probably imitating, he's probably acting, he's probably doing the same thing. He's trying to act like something for, I don't know, money, or for not for money, but why money? Because power. Why power? Because I need to feel secure. Okay, why do I need to feel secure? What does that mean internally? Not just external security, but internally. I need to control how you feel about me. That's seeking for security. I care about what you say about me on social media, right? Or whatever. I care about what other people say. That's the stupidest thing ever. That has to be investigated. That doesn't have to be reacted to like any other thing. So what makes us not look into ourselves as a fact, as who we are, if I can even use that word? and trace back to what is it about. Why is everyone so insecure? You see the same pattern everywhere. The person is insecure. That could be a beggar, or that could be a dictator of a nation. Why is there nationality, right? Why is there is me and there is you and there is this? Like, we keep dividing stuff. What is it that happens here which divides stuff? The divisive thought. What is that divisive thought? Why do we keep dividing stuff? What is it inside of us which first makes a nation, then makes states, and then make more states, and then make more like races, and then it's not that the person is this color or that color, but the fact is that we are dividing. Maybe I had another eye here, then I am a different kind of a person. I am an alien now, right? We keep dividing stuff, and we say that we are doing it for convenience, but we are really not. Convenience for what? I mean, can we ask that question, that why do we do that? Why do we keep doing that? Can we ask that question? And looking at fact, not theories. That's why I hate books. I hate theories when you're talking about this. No one can tell you, but they try to. Maybe because they still have those divisive stuff. They still haven't, so to say, figured out yet. They still have violence in them. They still have, it's pretty obvious. Look at the world right now, right? There can be unlimited theories about everything. There could be new religions born every day. That they won't be even called a religion, because the religion word is now so like that, right? Like anti, like an infamous, right? It's an infamous word, the word religion, but they won't use that word. But they'll still sell you imagination. They'll still sell you all those kind of things. I'm not telling you to believe in it or not believe in it, but to look at yourself as a fact, to look at yourself, your feeling, your sensation, and see what is actually happening. What is happening? I look at something, there is a sensation in my everyday life. I get angry. I have all these stuffs, science have all these explanations about this is how we are, and this is why we are like this, because we have always been like this, because Stone Age, because because human beings are like this, and we are meant to kill. Are we? We think that it's normal. We think that it's normal to kill each other. That's what we are saying. We have thousands explanations, theories, industries, markets, which makes us assume that it's normal for us to kill each other, because animals kill each other. See, we have, definitely, and see, it makes sense. Read, I get it. I don't, but okay, we do that. But why don't we question ourselves? Is it possible to do that? Just question yourself right now. Can we even ask that question, that like, what is the root of it? Do you have those tendencies? If you were in the place of Kim Jong-un, wouldn't you do the same thing? You would. Then what makes you different? Right? What? And it's a silly pattern. Like, it's so stupid. It's a pattern. Violence everywhere. Insecurity. We are working from insecurity. Because of that, we are violent. We are insecure of what? Internally, I don't know. Maybe loneliness. Right? What is loneliness? Right? What does that mean? Why do we want to hold on to things? I was just watching Wolverine, that I don't know which part of it, the part where he goes to that Japanese guy he saved, and with all that stuff, and the Japanese guy is like, Wolverine doesn't die, so he says, I want to give you the gift of mortality, and you give your immortality to me, and I'll give you the gift of dying. So the reasoning he gives is, my daughter is dying and my dynasty is over. So he is holding on to everything. He is holding on. And what makes him do that? Even at his dying, like on his deathbed, what is so powerful in him which wants to live? And the question then arises, what is death? People will say, what kind of question is that? It's really a stupid question. But internally ask yourself, like you say, for the fact, like whenever you say something, you feel something, right? And when you feel something, that's a fact, and you have to stick to it, and you have to get into it. So can we ask, why do we want to live? Of course we want to live because la 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 la. No, but no, like get into that question. Why are we scared to die? What is it about? And keep breaking it down. Answer yourself honestly. See where the fear is coming. See where there is resistance, and ask yourself why. Why not? And if it is a natural process, why are we scared to die? Why do we want to live forever? Why are we so obsessed with immortality? Right? Because we want to build technologies. No. No. No, we don't. You don't want to build technologies. That's just an excuse. That's an excuse actually. For you to live forever. Or whatever that means. And not make theories about it, but see for yourself. Wow. Something in me is thinking it. Again, what is thinking then? Right? What is thinking then in that sort of sense? What is thinking? That's like probably most of the people will be like, think, of course, duh, I know what thinking is. I know what thought is, duh. But no, see, look into yourself like as a fact. Like we look at a fact in yourself. Look at this fact. What is thinking? Ask yourself. Don't answer it. Don't theorize. I have heard about this, and see the thoughts coming again. The things you have heard about it. Thinking is when we do this. Thinking is how we operate in life. No. All of that is theory. And can you separate theory, if you have not, from fact in yourself? Can you see, oh, these are the theories, these are the conditioning, these are the things that I've heard. I clearly see the difference between the fact which I'm feeling or which is happening in me, which is kind of operating factor in my life, and versus this which is violent, which is conditioning, which is thought, which is then thinking, and thinking from what? Can we look at that? That's the major thing that needs to be observed in yourself, because I don't think there is anything else which break it down really. And no one talks about it, my friend, because they have not been there, or they are not even trying, or they are not, it's not because no one is doing it. I don't even say that like it's not easy or it's very hard, or it's like you have to be on the mountains to do that. Actually really not. If you go towards the mountain, you're probably not doing it, and probably you won't do it your whole life. You're again distracting yourself. You don't know the difference between fact and non-fact, because there will be so much lesser confusion in world in itself, because we operate, not the world but human, like social stuff, right? If you know how to read yourself like a book, and that takes a lot, because not because you have doing something which is very hard and I'm sacrificing everything and whatever, but because no one has taught you whatever. You never had the urge to like really find the truth. Like you're good with lies, you're good with superficial stuff, imagination, or like just feeling good about stuff. That's why, because you don't have any reference, and you cannot separate bullshit from reality, right? Because you cannot separate from fact from non-fact, right? In yourself, and which is not a big deal. You just have to look in yourself. You just have to see what you're feeling. You have to be sensitive enough, right? And not like again make theories about it, right? And like so how do we do that? Because it's important. Because if we don't, there will be another war, and then another war, and then another war, not just outside but in ourselves. As you look around you, we don't know how to connect. We don't know how to connect with anything really. Why? Because I feel like life has its ways for you to remind yourself to come back to home. Again, this is me imagining and all that, life has its blah, blah, blah. So whenever you hear shit like this from other stuff, like other people, just know that okay, I hear you, but I'm not taking it in. Okay, it's a good metaphor, like I'm telling you, hey, this is a metaphor. People don't tell you that, right? And the level of, oh my god, anyways. And why do we do that? And you have to look it in yourself, and start with looking in yourself, because it's a disease, it's really a sickness, it's really it's a bad sickness, and we are all part of it. Thanks for watching.